What is up, guys? Thank you very much for joining me for another episode of Degenerate Watch. Back in Road Rogues episode 4, which was the last Road Rogues episode that I did, I touched a bit on people not getting out of the way of emergency vehicles, and mainly it was focused on fire trucks, and just at the end of it I had a few clips where there was a few incidences of the New York Fire Department and people not getting out of their way. So in this video we're going to take a little bit of a more in-depth look at what these emergency responders actually have to put up with when they're out on the roads trying to get to that emergency call. I always think it's good to get people thinking about stuff like this by talking about it, because the few seconds that you save the first responders by your actions could be the difference between someone getting treatment on time or not. So we'll have a look at the video, and as always I'd be delighted to know what you guys think down below in the comments. And as always, just before we hop into the video, don't forget to drop a like if you're enjoying the video. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on so you never miss out on a new upload here on Degenerate Watch. There's links down below in the description to our social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter, and there's also a link down there if you'd like to help support the channel. Enjoy the video, guys.
They go between our truck and another truck, almost have a head-on collision.
He keeps these clips caught on camera in a file called Close Calls. They use them for training.
To show our guys that how dangerous it really is.
Watch this.
Our emergency lights are on. The vehicle then goes around us between pedestrians and
That car's on the sidewalk.
He actually goes on the sidewalk to get around the truck.
Then there's this one, a fire truck trying to maneuver into position while 1, 2, 3, 4 cars pass right on by. One firefighter's standing in the road.
He's in danger at that point, and he has to make sure and be very aware of his surroundings and what's going on. Otherwise, he's at risk of getting hit.
Most of the clips there were fine examples of people just being downright impatient. Surely you can't be in that much of a hurry that you can't wait 2 seconds to let a fire engine, ambulance or whatever out in front of you. These people never think that if it was one of their own family members, they would want help to arrive as soon as possible. Like, has society become that self-centered and selfish that we can't let an emergency vehicle out? So if you thought those clips were bad, the next one just baffles me. So we're heading to New York for this one, and it seems that the New York Fire Department have to put up with an awful lot of this sort of carry on. So this guy looks like he's waiting on a parking space, and he's waiting for the guy that's in the parking space to vacate that so he can pull in. But the fire truck needs to pull in at the staging area, but the guy wants his space. Let's have a look. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, what did he think when the fire engine was behind him with the sirens blaring, horn blasting, and he's just sitting there like an idiot? Other cars pulling out, and then he pulls up, and I fully think that he thought in his head the fire engine was going to let him reverse into that space and park. And sure, what's the point? The fire brigade could be there for hours dealing with an incident, and you could come back from the store a few minutes later, get into your car, and you're going to be blocked in anyway. What is the actual point? It's just so stupid. Just get out of the way, the parking space isn't that important. So now we move on to a couple of clips from Dublin, and you can see the same sort of carry on here with people not reacting quick enough.
Firefighters have their routes mapped for across the city. They can't always account for traffic and how drivers will respond. It's already a stressful job. Racing to the scene of an emergency. Drivers of these big fire trucks have to navigate tight turns, traffic, and you.
Certainly a lot of people don't know what to do. They'll, for example, want to pull to the left. They just want to get out of the way. There may be a little bit of panic that sets in.
What would you do if you were at a red light and an emergency vehicle was coming up right behind you?
I've never been in that situation before. Probably, I don't know.
If you're at a busy intersection and you're in the middle of two cars and you have nowhere to pull over, you don't have to.
Like this example on College, the fire truck just went around into the opposite lane. Next question.
If you are coming down, a road like this, and they're not behind you, they're actually in the other lane, headed the other direction. Do you still pull over?
You don't need to.
Wrong. Fraser says always yield to the right no matter which way the truck is coming. This gives the driver of the fire truck more room to pass traffic. Another question that trips some people up, what do you do if you're at an intersection and the light is green?
Your inclination is to stop, and you should most of the time when an emergency vehicle is approaching. However, if you're at an intersection and the light is green, you have the right of way, and you're moving to get out of the way will allow that vehicle to pass, then you need to do that. So it's really kind of a judgment call. You don't want anyone to do anything unsafe. It is really up to the driver of the emergency vehicle and finding safe alternate routes around traffic.
Also, law enforcement faces the same issue.
Unfortunately, it's pretty much a daily occurrence. If we're on an emergency run, that there's always at least one or two vehicles. There's always someone that doesn't quite seem to be recognizing what's going on around them.
We told you it's the law to pull over and drivers can be ticketed, but issuing those tickets can be difficult.
Usually because of the priority nature of the incident, they're not really able to pull over the offending vehicle and address that issue right then and there. So it becomes very difficult to come back later and try and find that vehicle and the driver.
In some cases, emergency responders will take down a license plate, and after an emergency is dealt with, a ticket can be issued. With the problem of people not pulling over so prevalent, the drivers of emergency vehicles have to stay on their toes.
If I've got a drowning, I'm going to want to get to that as fast as I can.
Kevin Bowden, affectionately referred to as Biff, slows down or even stops at green lights.
That's aggravating, but there's really not much you can do. You just have to be prepared for them to get in your way. You got to be prepared to get out of their way.
Clearwater Police released this video of a car running a red light, nearly hitting a rescue vehicle, something firefighter paramedic Casey Matz sees too often.
There's been times, multiple times, where care is delayed because of our response time being delayed due to traffic. So if it's gridlock for you, definitely gridlock for us too. They'll look at us like we're the bad guys and, throw their arms up at us.
Arms up like this woman trying to drive through an accident where a woman was seriously injured.
Here's a few worrying statistics about fire rescue vehicles caught up in traffic accidents themselves, and this is since 2006. These figures are a little bit outdated. I think they're 2017, 2018, up to that point, so it's obviously a little bit higher now.
A Hillsborough County fire truck was hit head-on by a driver that crossed the center lane. He died. They weren't injured. The next time that you hear that sound,
just use your head, stay calm, stop, let us go around you.
So everyone can make it home safely.
So there you go, guys. I just wanted to do a little video about that to try highlight that, get people thinking about that whole issue, because those vital seconds that are lost trying to negotiate around people that don't know how to react, won't react, or that are just really, really impatient could mean the difference between someone getting vital care on time or not. And when it comes to things like heart attacks, for example, every second is absolutely crucial, and getting care on time increases your chances of survival tremendously. So every second that's lost could mean the difference between life and death, literally, for someone. And these days as well, with cars being so well insulated and soundproofed, that some people find it hard to hear emergency vehicles approaching, and some people just do not use their mirrors. One tip that we're giving people was to have your window slightly cracked, especially in a urban environment, so that you can hear emergency vehicles approaching. But you know, it's all about just being aware of your surroundings and just like keeping your eye out and not getting too distracted. Well, that just about wraps it up for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like, it really helps us out. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on a new upload here on Degenerate Watch. We'll be back again shortly with a brand new video. There's links down below in the description to our social media. As I said, we're on Instagram and Twitter, so follow us on over there. And there's also a link down below if you'd like to help support the channel. Until next time guys, stay safe, take care, peace.